Well, I think healthcare really drove this on the Democratic side. I mean, I think if Democrats got control of the House, if they have one mandate that I think voters sent them, and if you just judge them by their campaign, is they better then produce. You know, they better figure out how to protect pre-existing conditions. They better figure out how to do that. So I think that is one promise that they made that I think voters are expecting them to at least fight and do.
Can they do that, though, when they have control of one house?
No, but I think Republicans, I mean, look, they know they have to do this. Like made them vulnerable. The issue on Obamacare made them vulnerable in some places that they shouldn't have been vulnerable. So it was it is one of the few issues that can cut across our very polarized ideological divide. So in that sense, perhaps, but the economy, you know, when the economy sometimes is this good, it allows culture issues to sort of rise up. And look, you look at the president, and he even said, the economy's boring, I can't gin everybody up. I think it's fascinating where you had this supposed dispute between Paul Ryan and the president. Paul Ryan wanted to close with the economy, and the president said, I'm going to close with immigration. The president was right, because it prevented, look, the Democrats won the popular vote. They won the House, okay? They won. More people showed up to the polls yesterday to vote for Democrats to control the House than Republicans. But it wasn't a wave because the president did a good enough job of getting his base out that he won some key races in the electoral college, if you will, of 2 years later, Senate races and some key governor's races.
What do you think the lesson is in terms of how, I'm already going 2 years out, in terms of how you think the Democrats approach this all over again in 2020? Meaning, was there a lesson in terms of being a Democratic centrist? Was there a lesson in terms of being a true liberal progressive? Where do you think people are going to shake out on that? Because I think that's going to have a huge sort of psychological impact both on the party and how this all seems to shake out in the next 2 years. I
had a potential Democratic presidential candidate say to me, I'm not going to say he or she, but it was somebody who's not white, who said to me, I'm watching Andrew Gillum's race very closely. If Andrew Gillum wins, it proves I can run as a progressive and win in the swingiest swing state in the country. If Gillum loses, any donor that has been thinking about giving to me is suddenly going to have Joe Biden on speed dial.
So do they pull in?
I don't know, though, because to go to the other part of Andrew's question, what did Phil Bredesen do? What did Claire McCaskill do? I mean, you see here the centrist Democrats lost and the progressive Democrats
so what's the path?
Lost. But you could argue Texas, Georgia, and Florida, let's do Texas and Georgia, ironically, it got them closer running a progressive candidate in Texas and Georgia.
In a red state.
Than you would have thought. So I don't think there's a right answer other than I do think that if you borrow a page from Trump, being bolder and drawing brighter colors is a way to at least galvanize your base. And if these are going to be base elections, you could make an argument that the Democrats might have to go to bolder.
We don't have a lot of time left. Let's bring up let's do, you bring it, meet the stocks. What do you like? What are your, did you bring your, I was promised a meet the stocks full screen.
A full screen? You want stocks? I'm just waiting.
What are you long? What are you short? What are you, you're not doing, huh?
I feel like whatever I say, I will somehow get in trouble with that company, or somehow somebody will accuse me of trying to manipulate, trying to make money.
I got to buy a Comcast.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do anything. Comcast is a terrific stock. That's what I hear. I love Comcast. Yes.
Let's go back to what Eric just said. He thinks there's a better than 50% chance that you could see a shutdown of the government, and that's certainly not something the markets would like. What do you think?
I think it's possible because you're going to have this pressure. I mean, look, Eric Cantor was there. He felt the same pressures. You know, you have a base of your party that expects you go after this president. I mean, when you guys were brought into power in 2010, you were expected to confront President Obama.
And if we weren't able to repeal Obamacare, we weren't fighting hard enough. This is going to be the same thing.
Same thing on the left.
Exactly.
The problem for Nancy Pelosi, though, is there's about 28 new members of Congress that were elected saying, no, we want to get something done. We're going to be obstructionists. So I think this tension.
Infrastructure?
Infrastructure, maybe. That's the one. But you know what? I thought he would do infrastructure immediately when he got in.
No, infrastructure is the pay-for issue. They're going to have deficit concerns, and they're going to have issues on.
You know what? I'll tell you this: House Democrats are going to be deficit hawks. That I can promise you.